is the best Indian side in the last 15 years? That's what your coach said sometimes. I'm not sure.
You're not sure? That's your opinion. We did sort of think about it, but we knew that these guys had to be in there till the score gets under 100, and then we probably have a chance then. And England were waiting for someone to get out and then take the new ball as well. We understood that also. So yeah, we did have that thought at tea, to be honest, purely because of the way these guys batted and got us to a situation during tea time where all results looked possible. So I think it's down to the brilliance of both those guys that made us think that way. Not hard at all, because what matters to me is the kind of attitude you play the cricket with. We said at the end of the fourth game we're not going to throw in the towel, and we haven't. We had a bowler shot in the second innings as well, but even then the batsman came out and played like that. A lot of times in the past, a lot of teams in the past basically have just given up, but we did not. So look, we do not think like people on the outside. I've said that time and again, and these kind of series actually shows you exactly what the character of individuals is. And I see that as an opportunity and not an adversity, because if you keep winning all the time, a lot of things are swept under the carpet. You don't realize, the faults that you need to work on. And I certainly haven't played my cricket like that, and I don't see any series like that. So they haven't been tough at all because of the kind of cricket we played. I know people conveniently choose not to look at that, but that's not us. It's been fun. It's been very competitive, but in the right way. We haven't had any sort of arguments at all through the series. It's been nice and competitive. We've had a word here and there, but it's been sarcastic, nothing too serious. So as a cricketer, after a stage, you want to be pushed, you want to be tested, and guys like him test you all the time. He's been very relentless with his skills, and that's why he stands at the top of the fast bowlers, leaderboard, and he deserves it totally because of the skill sets that he possesses, and he has a keen eye for figuring out faults of batsmen, and he can bowl accordingly. Basically, he can bowl all sorts of deliveries, which is a massive asset to have. So he deserves what he achieved today because he's worked hard for it, and he's been relentless. He's been patient in the way he's bowled over so many years, and he's challenged not only me, a lot of batsmen in world cricket, especially in these conditions. And hats off to what he's achieved. Look, the one thing that we spoke about was how we react to the fifth day's play is going to determine a lot of what happens in the future for all of us. It's very easy to surrender and say it's too difficult, or we might not be able to do this. But if you show the right attitude, then throughout your career you will have more good memories than bad, and the game will give you back because you're respecting the game, you're playing it in the right manner, and because you can't hide away from the field. You can escape one or two innings, but the game has a great way of pulling out whatever you're feeling from the inside. So if you play with the right attitude, the game is going to give you back at different stages in your career, and that's exactly the chat that we had. Guys like KL, who hasn't had a great run but still goes out and plays like that. So guys, as I said, want to take up the responsibility. They want to be in the fight. Rishabh was doubtful of a few innings, and then he comes out and plays like that as well. So that partnership was something that is a great show of character. Not many people will realize it. They'll look at it as England might not have been interested, or they might not have had motivation, but that wasn't the case clearly in the end, because they were going for the win. These guys just batted really well, and it's all credit to them that they played the game with the right attitude and they respected the game totally.
Virat, you guys were competitive throughout the series, but the fact that these kind of tags the best Indian side in the last 15 years, do these things put extra pressure on you, or do you actually believe you are?
We have to believe we're the best side. Why not?
But is this the best Indian side in the last 15 years? That's what your
What do you
coach
think?
said
What do you
sometimes.
think?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Move on.
That's your opinion. Then. Well, as I said, I mean, you get to figure out what are the areas that you need to improve on from every series that you play, and you need to understand how to correct those areas. You know, what are the things that need to be done? What are the processes that need to be put in place for you to be able to correct those areas? And that's the only learning that you take as captain, because you can think of a lot of things. At the end of the day, individuals have to respond a certain way, and you have to make sure that you do enough things right for them to be able to go out there and do that. So for that, you need to figure out the balance of the side, which are the guys that are responding well in different situations, and all those sort of things you learn as a captain, and you observe a lot of things as well. That's how you keep improving as a side. Yeah, I think we would. I think at times we were not able to. Um, we created pressure. We were not able to hold that pressure for long enough. Um, that's one thing that I can think of with the bat and the ball as well. So at crucial stages, I think we could not keep that pressure on for long, and that's why they took advantage of those situations better than us. If you see the batting orders, I mean, there's hardly anything to pick from both the sides, and conveniently, as you can see, a lot of people want to target only one side, which is fine. But we understand why the series has gone the way it has, and to be honest, we don't see a massive portion that we need to correct, because if you're competing in every game and you have an upper hand in every game at some stage or the other, you're doing something right. We're not starting behind all the time. We've fought back in a series. England has had to fight back a few times, so they deserve to win because they played better than us, and that's how we look at the series. I mean, we don't look at the series as something that makes us think we can't play in overseas conditions. Of course, we can play, but can we capitalize on the important moments better than the opposition? At the moment, no, we haven't done that. But in future, we want to do that, and that's the only way we win series. And our aim is to win series, not to win a hot test match and be happy about it. We're definitely not happy about the way the series has gone, but the way we played cricket is something that not me, no one in the change room, and no one doubts even 1%, because we played with the right attitude and the will to win every game that we play. Progress has been there, definitely. As I just mentioned, you have to do some things right to be in a position where both results are possible for both sides. Victories are possible for both sides. So we need to recognize that, but more importantly, we need to recognize when the situation is in our favor, how to solidify that situation even further, and make sure that the opposition cannot get back into the game. More often than not, we have given the advantage to the opposition rather than them brilliantly turning around the situation. I know Sam's been outstanding in the series, but apart from that particular batting slot, it's not been up to brilliant batting always. It's been up to us not being able to apply that pressure for long enough as well. And as I mentioned in the past as well, we need to start series well. We can't warm up into a series, because the first test is always crucial, and we need to make sure that we're in the right kind of frame of mind to be able to do all the things right to strike first. Well, amazing. I asked him on the field, are you having second thoughts now that you've got 140? He said, not at all. He felt more relieved than anything, that you could see he was enjoying his batting all over again. And I said that at the post match as well. I wish him well for whatever he decides to do now, and congratulate on a amazing career as an opener playing in these conditions. We understand how difficult batting can be. Even if you play here regularly, it still can be tough. But the fact that he scored so many runs all over the world shows the determination he's always had to be able to play 160 test matches and have the longest run of not missing a test. Is a great example for everyone to love Test cricket so much, to have so much determination and passion to play for your country. And he's been a great ambassador for the game, and I certainly have a lot of respect for him, because he's one guy that never has gone out of line ever. Doesn't say a word to anyone in a negative manner. Just carries on with his work, and he's very sure about his work as well. So I wish him well. Yeah, we've had conversations around specific situations that we were in and why they went away from us. A lot of time it's been upon missed opportunities in the field, maybe a few times. But apart from that, as I said, there's nothing massive that you need to think about because it's literally one part of a session that we've given away, and then the whole test match starts running away because the opposition senses it and they are more relentless about being on top. So we have definitely spoken to individuals, understanding what they were thinking in certain situations, why of what happened on the field, why it took place, and what was the thought process behind it, so that we can go totally into the root of an issue and try and correct it from there, rather than just telling guys this was the cause and then you need to correct it yourself. We have had conversations on the things that have gone negative in the series for us and what is the correct way to make sure that it does not happen again and we actually capitalize the situation once we are in that same situation again. So we have spoken to the guys individually, yes.